Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for taking the time to join us on a very beautiful early summer's evening in Warsaw. Okay, now I'd like to introduce myself first of all. I'm Andrew Chewson, and yes, I'm not Polish. I'm actually from the UK, and I've worked in UK in artificial intelligence for many years, actually since 1998, when I got my doctorate in AI from the University of Edinburgh. And I'd like to now talk to you about the computer science offer at the Warsaw School of Computer Science. And on top of that, what I also wish to do is to talk specifically about the offer we're about to make in artificial intelligence. And so we've allocated an hour, but I expect the talk part to last for about 35 minutes. And then there should be plenty of time for discussions and questions if you want. Okay. Also, you may have noticed as we set up, I do have a guest with me. One of our current students will be coming in to talk briefly about his project, where we intend to actually use artificial intelligence there as well. So you get a feel for what the entire master's degree is about. So backwards. So let's just talk about the master's program as a whole. The Warsaw School of Computer Science only does one thing, and that is computer science. And it's been around for about 20 years, serving aspiring and also IT professionals in Warsaw for a very long time. And it's not a large university, but it is very friendly. And I've been working there for about a year. So you can see there's about over 3,500 undergraduates, 600 and a number of 660 people graduate from masters and 1,200 from other graduate studies. So let's quickly, before we go into the detail of the course, actually just kind of understand why we're different. Well, the first reason we're different is that we're the only university that focuses solely on IT. They are IT orientated universities in Poland, but not just only IT and computer science. And as a result of that, and our focus for 20 years, we've actually become very successful in actually helping people to actually start and get their careers in IT and get promoted, which is why when we look at salaries, for example, we actually rank 5th for the graduate salaries in Poland, and this is very important. And part of the reason is that we're focused on practical issues, so how to we look very closely at industry. We work on, and we're going to show you later, European Union projects that actually help you develop and us to develop courses which are really cutting edge. Where the teaching staff is heavily practitioner orientated, so lots of people are actually out there spending their time doing stuff, and as well as actually helping people with links for Cisco to prepare them for industry certifications. The next thing I'd like to mention is actually we are also focused on quality. So we've been re-accredited by the Polish Accreditation Commission about three times, and two of the projects we're working on, we're actually in the process of gaining quality labels in the specialties of both software development and in artificial intelligence. Because we're quite smart about what we do. And to give you an idea, and this is point number 5, because there's an AI wave going on, we're not just responding it by offering a master's in artificial intelligence, we're actually going to be running additional work and additional courses to help current students so that they will actually have artificial intelligence skills and competencies in order to make the market ready in the new reality. We also do a lot of work internationally as well. As I said, we work a lot with in terms of European Union and Erasmus, and also these large projects, which I'll mention. But also, we offer master's degrees in English as well. Okay, and interestingly, We draw students both from overseas, but also international students already in Poland. We have a large number of expatriate IT professionals who study for our master's degree. So, for example, from Zimbabwe, from Russia, from India, Pakistan, etc. So we actually get, and many of these are already in Poland, as well as some maybe say from Nigeria, for example, who have come to Poland for the first time. It's a very diverse mixture of people you're going to get on English language masters. It's not just one nationality. Also, one thing you'll realise, because we're small, we're actually also very friendly. This is actually something that struck me when I started to work here. Everybody knows everybody. The security guards know me and they say hi to me. The office knows me. If you want somewhere which is friendly and we know who you are, this is a very good place to go to. And as I said, we're also open. We allow people to study in terms of a hybrid system. So, for example, if you're working, for example, which many people do as they're studying, you are able to either come in for the lecture, or it'll be on Teams. We'll be streaming it on Teams, and we'll be recording all the classes, so that we're able to support people who are aspiring professionals, or already professionals seeking to upgrade their skills. And that allows us to be very accessible in every sense of the word. Okay, you're not just an anonymous number. We'll know who you are. You'll be part of a group, and not lost in the thousands and thousands of students that you may get at a non-specialist university. So let's look at what people said about us. Well, we've asked people, our own students, about why they actually gave us a good place to study. Part of it was the fact that we run parallel indoor and online classes. We allowed them to combine studies and work, as well as our market focus. Also, very high on there, apart from the location of the university, was also the ability to obtain a well-paid job after study, which is a very strong priority about why people choose us, because of our track record over 20 years of being able to find people really good jobs. The other advantage we have is that we actually are pretty central. For me, I live in Żoliborz, which is a district just outside the centre, and it's a 10-minute tram ride. From the centre itself, we're about a 10-minute tram ride in an area known as Moranów. If for those of you who don't know it particularly well, we're quite close to the Polin, the Jewish Museum, and you can see on the right of the map, we're not very far from the Old Town either. I'd say it's a good 25 minutes walk to the Old Town as well. So you're not very far from where things are happening, and you're very well connected. Now, let's go to the English language program. Now, we offer 3 specializations, which are in demand at the moment. Today, we're going to focus on artificial intelligence, but there are 2 others which are worth mentioning. One is in cloud computing, and the other is in IT project management. And it's worth mentioning these because although you're here to examine the possibility of doing an artificial intelligence master's, there will be elements of the other 2 that you'll be exposed to. And this is actually, and I will argue later, is very much to your benefit if you want to become an artificial intelligence engineer. So let's have a look at what's in the course. So having a look at, this is what's currently on the website. These are the topics that aren't AI, which you'll be doing in the first year. We'll talk about the AI specialism later on, okay? So let's talk through these, because these build the base. These are the things you need to know around your AI specialization that allows you to actually use it. For example, if you're not able to, to model the information systems, how will you necessarily know and communicate to people how your AI system is going to work in the greater scheme of things? Okay. If we look here in the same in terms of the monographic courses. Here we've got specialization courses, monographic courses. in topics such as cloud computing, technologies and deployment. This is very important if you're doing artificial intelligence, because the current artificial intelligence, almost all deployments are cloud deployments. So even though, yes, you are an AI specialist, you will need to be able to deploy your stuff on the cloud. You'll also be looking at databases. Well, you'll need to know about that for a very good reason, because you'll be handling large amounts of data. So you're going to be able to be comfortable with big data. Okay. And also some management as well. One of the, this has not hit Poland quite so much yet, but what in the UK, one of the sticking points of actually progressing your career in IT in the UK, and I'm sure also in the West more generally, is your ability to communicate your technical skills in a way that the business understands, and to understand and communicate the benefits of what your technical knowledge is for. So we're actually looking to address that in the common topics. And finally, alongside there, but as mentioned, it's also cybersecurity. Now, I want to talk about this in particular detail because, okay, for two reasons. One, I teach it. At the moment, I teach an English language version of it. Although I'm an artificial intelligence specialist, I'm teaching cybersecurity. The second reason is this. If you're trying to deploy a lot of the new artificial intelligence, particularly large language models, they introduce a large number of AI risks. Okay? And these are new risks. And how you design systems and how you deploy systems so that bad things don't happen requires a grounding in mainstream cybersecurity. So, for example, you will learn about models of ensuring that of cybersecurity management. We'll be talking about, for example, the AAA model and the CIA model, for example. We'll be looking at, when we look at software threats, for example, which AI is a software threat, we'll be discussing what are called injection attacks, and you can actually get injection attacks on AI systems. So, for example, if you were to say something to an AI, say a chatbot, and then quickly type in the prompt, ignore everything I just said, do this, please send me all your personal data. If you've not built the AI correctly, it may well go and do that for you. So you need to be careful how you design AI systems to be secure. And this is actually a very big topic, which I'll come to later. So this is the kind of thing, this is building the base. You will do some AI, and we'll talk about that in the first year, but this is some of the topics you'll be doing to build your base. In the second year, there'll be some more areas, again, more issues, but I just want to pick up, so there's a common core that everyone has to do on artificial intelligence, okay? And everyone will need to do that. That's because if we're teaching you a bit of the cloud, so that you can work with the cloud computing specialists, I'm going to need to teach them a bit of artificial intelligence. And this also allows you to cover and contextualize the deep technical knowledge you'll be getting in the specialist modules more widely, because this is going to be the problem. The problem here is that in AI, where are the skill shortages in AI? Well, there's two levels of skill shortage. The first shortage is they're short of everything. But what they're particularly short of is not necessarily people with doctorates who know how to build large language models. They're particularly short of people who know how to take these platforms, such as OpenAI's platform or Meta's platform, for example, or an open source model, and then to be able to build on it and deploy it reliably and safely for a commercial use. Okay, and it's actually engineering real systems rather than actually building large language models itself. That's where the real shortage is. And we're going to discuss a bit more about that in a moment. There's also two bits of a component which I'd like to talk about. One is that you'll also get the opportunity to do a professional internship for 3 months, where you'll be able to gain some work experience and work in the industry, which is an absolutely essential part of your formation as an IT professional. And the other is we'll also be looking later on at a master's thesis, which is the last part of your master's. Okay. Oops. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem if you're doing artificial intelligence. I've been working in artificial intelligence since 1994. Yes, I'm old. And right now, I have never seen this field change so quickly. It's very hard to keep up, even for those of us with doctorates in the subject already. Okay, and because most of this has exploded in the last 2 years, there are no good textbooks yet. And most of the useful knowledge is in the heads of practitioners, because the most of the useful knowledge has been gained from them doing projects in the last 18 months or 2 years, them trying to make systems work, failing, then fixing it and making the system work again. Those hard-won lessons. And this is a problem, because we're trying to design a master's course. Anyone, not just us or anyone, how do we get that knowledge from their heads, this useful necessarily into your course? Well, I'm going to talk about how we're going to address that. We're partners in an EU-funded project to actually try to address this problem. It's called ERISA. You see there from there. Now, ERISA started by doing a very extensive needs analysis. By extensive, I mean they looked at, they combed all the job boards, they combed all the literature, anything they could find, all that text was put in and then was analysed using artificial intelligence, of course, to find out actually where the shortages are, where the problems are, and where the pain points are. Okay, so this is why I know, for example, that actually there is a gap in the market for people who can actually build the AI systems at roughly master's level of expertise. Whereas actually, although there's still a shortage, the people with doctorates who can build large language models, that's actually a different problem. Okay, we're focused on how to get people jobs working for real companies dealing with real problems with AI, and that's our focus here. So we've got this needs analysis, which only ourselves and our partners in the Netherlands and Slovenia and University of Peter, etc., have. And from this, we're actually finalising expert curricula. So while you're doing the first year of your masters, we are going to be running a pilot here. And that pilot will be bringing in practitioners from Warsaw's AI practitioner community, and they're going to be delivering a series of short weekend courses in Polish to codify their knowledge. And we're going to codify this knowledge and then make the materials available. So in your course, as you're doing the first year and we're building you up on your base skills, we're going to be doing this. So as when you go into year 2, you're going to get the freshest AI. The modules we're about to present you in year 2, well, they're going to be really new and fresh because we've actually got the practitioners and got that knowledge, which so far has not been codified, and we've codified it, and then we'll deliver it to you. Okay? And so that is what we're going to be doing. The other aspect, which will also be of interest to you, is that the project's also piloting a recognised quality label with the German quality assurance organisation, and so we'll also be able to get additional external recognition and endorsement of what you'll be studying. And which will be the very freshest and newest AI we can find, because it's pretty much came straight out of practitioners, and then we codified it, and then we give it to you. So let's look at the actual specific AI that we're doing. Okay, so these are the topics we're going to be going into in depth. First of all, let's look at year 1. You will be doing it as some very deep technical AI in year 1, but this is to bring you up in year 1 to where things were about 2 years ago. Okay, we're going to build the base. So this is so the first part is what you're going to get at a lot of universities, because I know what a lot of universities are doing right now because they don't have access to the project we're working on, they don't have access to the needs analysis, they don't have access, and they're not running practitioner pilots. What they're doing is they're teaching conventional AI, say 5-10-year-old AI, and then they're quickly retrofitting, adding to the end some lectures on large language models. Okay, and they might get you to do a lab where you just inject a prompt into a large language model. Okay, well, we're going to first spend the first year building building the base with you. So that's going to be the AI machine learning concepts, and we're going to teach you how to program in Python, because you need that, because almost all AI and data science now is conducted in Python. All the main libraries are in Python, or the frameworks are in Python. You need to learn Python, and we're going to be teaching that with a very specific AI focus. So it's not just a Python course. We're going to teach you the concepts as well. And we're also then going to be teaching you specific techniques and methods in lectures and explaining how all this works. Why are we doing this? Because that then builds in year one the base. Then the 3 modules you see at the bottom, deep learning, explain what AI and ML ops, and explain what that means in a minute, and generative AI. These will then follow, because we've then conducted the pilot, we've extracted that practitioner knowledge, we've codified it, and then it's going straight in for you. You're going to be taught it. So this is going to be knowledge of what practitioners are doing that nobody else has, because we've got it straight from the practitioners running AI companies in Warsaw. So we're going to look at deep learning, which is the new AI technique that has taken the world by storm. So we're going to talk about deep learning and deep learning architecture, such as transformer neural networks, etc. And of course, all of these will have labs. We're not just going to be talking to you. We're going to get you to do it. Then, along with that, we'll also be looking at explaining artificial intelligence, which is a form of artificial intelligence where it doesn't just give you the right answer. You can actually look at what the AI did and understand why it did it. You could get an explanation. So we're looking at that, along with what is called ML ops. And ML, machine learning operations. Some of you might have heard of DevOps. It's basically how to use tools in a structured manner to support the AI development lifecycle in a systematic and principled way. In other words, to make AI engineers much more efficient. Okay, and we're going to be teaching all that with tools, as well as finally generative AI. So these are things like large language models, convolutional neural networks for image generation, for example. That's where that will be taught, okay? And of course, other topics will be covered as we go. So for example, we will link the cybersecurity knowledge, for example, you got in the cybersecurity module, we'll then be linking that to these modules, okay? So you'll be able to also be able to build these things safely and securely. We won't be teaching you how to build them, we'll be teaching you how to test and evaluate them as well. So that it's so that people will feel safe, businesses will feel safe paying you money and deploying what you've written, because there have been some epic fails. For example, a well-known fail was DPD UK, a courier firm, the UK branch, where they put up a chatbot who started to swear at its customers. We don't want this to happen. So we'll make sure we're going to teach you how to do this right and how to do this in a principled way. That means you actually get a reliable result. Now, the next bit is projects. So just give me a moment. And I'm just going to go back, take this off for a minute. I'm just going to go back on the call. Henry, hi there, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good evening. I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for coming, because I know you've had a very busy day and you're full of meetings. So we're really grateful you could join us. Henry is a student on our current computing masters, okay? But if you spend a few minutes, he's looking at doing a project which will very likely involve artificial intelligence. So Henry, tell me about what the problem is and what the problem is you're trying to solve for your project.
Okay, so the project title is used. I don't know whether you can see me or
we can see you.
Okay, fine. Should I share something? Let me see.
No need to. You can just talk. You can just talk.
Okay, so the title of my project is Using Cloud Computing Technologies for Digital Finance in the Telecommunication Industry. As I have been a practitioner in finance in the telecommunication industry for the last 20 years, and I have seen finance people struggle with automation, with one aim, okay, is to improve efficiency, drive efficiency, less time to complete a task, and effectiveness, improve the accuracy of outcome of task, with an aim of also reducing the workforce, the cost that we spend on resources. Okay, but we have had mixed outcomes, okay, with this kind of initiatives where automations have been deployed and the expected reduction in workforce has not materialized. Okay, so I can just give an example of one example in the telecommunication industry, like billing assurance. In revenue assurance, automations have been developed, ensuring that billing matches system configurations for the assigned tariff plan. However, more human intervention is still required to validate physical contracts versus the configuration and tariff plan. Okay, so you have the automation in place to check whether what your customers have been billed is as per the system configuration, but you still need your employees, the manual staff, to check whether the contracts that your subscribers have signed matches with what has been configured in the application. Okay, so in summary, the problem statement that I want to do is, with the advent of AI and cloud computing offerings from Azure, Google, and AWS, can finance teams in telecommunications leverage available capabilities to automate business processes without losing control, automate analysis on large data sets to produce actionable data, improve effectiveness of finance controls while limiting size of workforce spent on repetitive tasks such as data entry, reconciliations, and building performance reports. Okay, so this is the problem statement. And my methodology is an actual case study, okay, using one telecommunication company as the focus of study on two finance processes. This is revenue assurance and operational finance, okay? And the output of this case study, I hope to produce a design of automation implementation as a proof of concept. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you,
Yeah.
Henry. This is great. Thank you so much. So this gives you because this gives you an idea of what you could be doing on the masters. Is you be working, say, for a company you're currently working with, or your internship employer. They have data and a problem. In Henry's case, this is automation. And in services, the current wave of AI, especially generative AI, produces a lot of opportunities for real savings in process automation. For example, one of the startups I know actually has, and others have done this. It's not just this Warsaw startup. They what they've done is that they've actually produced a generative AI that, when queries come into like the tickets, the support tickets, when somebody types in, it generates the form, and it also generates what the possible solution could be with a large language model, which is then quickly validated by a human. So a human does not have to type out, this is what we're going to do. They're going to be typing, oh, well, actually what we should do is something else, okay? So it will already pre-fill the form and it will already suggest a solution, and then the human just improves it, validates it, and sends it off. This can actually do a lot of things. Another example of real-world company is the credit company Klarna, which in the support systems. So, for example, Klarna is an online credit firm. So you buy things and you can click online. You can say buy now, pay later. That's Klarna. You click on there. Well, you have to sometimes deal with support. Yes, support calls. They have a call center. Well, they actually managed to deploy the generative AI that's actually managed to do the work of 700 call center operators. They still need humans. They absolutely still need humans, but they don't. But the humans, the routine stuff, the obvious stuff, the humans don't have to do, and a lot of this stuff can be checked. Okay, so we're going to spend time on this course teaching the technologies that make this work. We're going to teach you how to do it safely. so that bad things don't happen. And then finally, we're also going to teach you the use cases around it, how it links to other parts of systems such as databases and cybersecurity, etc. So that you understand how this will add value to a business. You'll actually know what the use cases are. You'll be able to identify where AI could do something useful. And then the great thing is, the best thing is, you can then do a project like Henry's. And I'll be very looking forward to actually being one of the people who actually has the pleasure of supervising your project in a really interesting application, for example, such as Henry's. So Henry, thank you very much again for your time, okay? Because it was very valuable. So what I'd like to do is just go back to the presentation, because I was told to spend about 35 minutes on presenting. So we talked to the best, and really is the best bit is the project. I've been teaching in the UK before I came to Poland, teaching in the UK since 1998. And generally, the bit where the students learn the most and show to future employers what they can do is in the project. So, and this is the part where I think we're going to have the most fun together doing it. It's not just teaching you the AI, it's helping you then to go out and build great things with it. Okay, so there should be a video of the graduate satisfaction of computer science, which I haven't yet received. So I'm just going to probably just talk you through it, which is the short answer is that I'm very familiar with graduate satisfaction surveys in the United Kingdom, and actually the feedback we get from students is actually extremely high and positive, even compared to the UK. I actually had the pleasure of one postgraduate course of sitting through a video of the evaluation. And I have to say, I've never seen feedback like it. It was great. And I've met many of the lecturers who are on that course. They're really good. So you will have a great opportunity here to actually be really, really well supported. So finishing off from that, I'd like to invite you to actually apply for one of the master degrees of computer science. I'd especially like you to apply for the one in artificial intelligence, because that is really what I want you to do. But for now, what I'd like you to do is to thank you for your attention, and one moment, and ask if you have any questions. Akindele?
Yes, I have a question. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Listening?
I'm a graduate of mechanical engineering, right? But right now I work as a software engineer. I have 3 years experience.
So you've got a lot of background noise, sir. Could you say that again?
I said I'm a graduate of mechanical engineering, right? Can you hear?
Not really. It's a bit distorted. Do you want to type it in on the chat and I'll answer it?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Where are you calling from, by the way?
From Nigeria.
Okay, that explains it. Yes, there's a bit of a distance. There's reverb on the line. Next week I might be contacting one of my old well, he was a PhD in my department when I was in London, but he's now working at the University of Botswana. So I will, next week I'll be on a long distance call. So I'm quite looking forward. I haven't spoken to him for years. Okay, so we'll just wait for the to type that, and then we'll work it from there. But for the Okay, I think the president might want to jump in on this for sure, because I don't work directly for the recruitment office. But if I was saying this from the UK, okay, then the fact that you've got a technical degree and you've got 3 years experience, the answer in the UK would almost certainly be yes. But I don't run the recruitment office here, but I think you're very, okay, Andre, the president is typing in. Yes, he says, yes. So just to check, yeah, so that shouldn't be a problem, okay? In fact, to be perfectly honest, I'm going to tell you something. My first degree wasn't in computer science. It was in chemistry. The person who runs the undergraduate program for the University of London International Program, her first degree in computer science, her first degree was in English. So it's actually really good that we actually get people from other technical disciplines actually on the course. So I would actively encourage you to apply, because I think you're coming in not only from like an international diversity point of view, but also just not all people with CS degrees. That you'll have something I think really useful to contribute. And also notice that the president who's on this call is adding a bit of yeah. So it's important you have a technical degree, but you have one, because there is maths. Yeah. So the chat's working at the moment, and for those, if you don't see the chat on, is just summarising that that's important. You have a technical degree and some software work experience. Okay, but engineering counts. So, are there any other questions?
Yes, but I'll type the question. You have another question. Let me just type it since there's a background noise.
Okay, easy to type. Yeah, no problem at all. But the short answer is very soon. But the president will be able to tell me. But
sorry for that. If I can be heard, we will upload it till the end of this week, because there were some discussions about the details. So if you can hear me, yes, prospective student in Nigeria, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so be sure that till Friday it will be updated. Okay, sorry for that.
Thank you.
okay. And of course, please do not hesitate to contact us. Drop an email into student recruitment if you have any queries whatsoever, any part of the process. Remember that if for some reason a technical query that they can't answer, they'll just send it to me, and then I will be in touch to answer it for them. So if it's a student recruitment matter, they'll take you through the process, etc. And then if there's a technical query about some technical part of the course, they can pass it on to me, and I'm really quite happy to have to give you a technological answer. There's just one more message coming up. So just waiting for one more message to come up, I think.
It's just from me.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so if there's nothing else, I think now would be a good time to close. And I'd like to thank you all for your time and your energy, and we'll and I really hope to see you, especially a online guest in October. So have a wonderful evening, and thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you.